Well, you're back for the third and last segment of DMZ America. I'm Scott Stantis coming to you from the right.
And I'm Ted Rall coming to you from the left. By the way, it's Tuesday, December 12th, 2023, in case you don't own a calendar, but you do have a computer that plays our podcast.
Exactly. I did say it at the top of the podcast.
Yeah, but there are people who look at the segments and they'll only like on the video version, they'll be like, I don't want to hear about fucking segment 1. I want to go straight to segment 3.
And segment 3 is going to be an interesting one where it's the goings on in Texas. As you know, they passed a virtual abortion ban. A woman who, by the name of Kate Cox, got pregnant. The fetus became unviable. The threat to her health is significant. She petitioned to have, an abortion in Texas. And initially a court said, okay. And then it went to the Supreme Court. Now stay with me, kids, because the Supreme Court is an elected office in the state of Texas. So those baloney heads decided to, on the heels of Attorney General Paxton. Now, if that name sounds familiar, it's because he came within one vote of being impeached about 3 months ago. So now he's back doing what Paxton does best, is being just a bloviating piece of dog shit, and took the case to the state Supreme Court, where they said, no, we're going to have to put that on hold. It's a medical issue. You can't put that on hold. It's like saying, we're going to put your chemo on hold. You're going to say, no, this needs to be taken care of right now. It was a pressing issue. As of right now, Ted, the Supreme Court did actually come down with a permanent order saying she could not get the abortion. And Kate Cox has flown out of the state to have the procedure done elsewhere.
That's correct.
This is the instance of where the law is written not by a physician, not by anyone who knows anything about the issue, but it's written by legislators from, I'm from Lick, Texas, and I wrote this law. And that's happening everywhere. It's happening here in Alabama. It's happening in all the red states that are banning this procedure. I guess my question to you is, does this impact the election does this give the Democrats more fodder going forward? Or is this one of those issues that's kind of like, bah?
If they know what to do with it, it's potentially very powerful, I think, Scott. Americans, first of all, are very pro-choice, 80% in favor of abortion rights to some extent. And this qualifies to that full 80%. Here you have a law that effectively does not allow abortion under normal circumstances, because it only allows abortion in under 6 weeks. Most women aren't aware that they're pregnant in under 6 weeks. However, life of the mother is one of those exceptions. And that is an exception that 80+% of American voters, including obviously many conservatives and Republicans, do support. So not only is it popular, but it also goes to something very fundamental in the American character, which is the spirit of individualism and the desire to have the government remain uninvolved in the most intimate details of our personal and sexual lives. Here you have a woman who, by all accounts, this was a desired pregnancy. She did not want to have to terminate it. She's not fickle. She didn't decide that she wanted to go on vacation and she didn't like her baby bump. This is a woman who she already has 2 children. She's married. She's 31. She wants this kid, but unfortunately, sadly, and tragically, she can't have it. And the kid will not make it, and she won't make it if this continues. She's 20 weeks pregnant. The courts were dicking around for a week. And I know that for a court, a week might not seem like a long time, but when you have an urgent medical condition, a week is an eternity. So I think if a well-crafted attack ad were widely disseminated and repeated, a series of them, there's also 20 other Texas women under similar circumstances currently working their way through the Texas court system in a class action suit. They're about also to go up before the Texas State Supreme Court. Most analysts believe that they will rule against them as well.
Yes.
This is just I think Democrats don't have a lot of good news going into the election next year, but abortion is a potentially very powerful issue. And it's a chance for women and male allies of women to say, fuck this. It's like, we're not doing the Handmaid's Tale here in the United States. But Democrats would have to craft that message very carefully. They don't have a great record of doing that sort of thing.
No.
So I would say, could they? Yes. Could it be potentially powerful? Yes. Will they do it? Probably not.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think they're afraid of the issue still, because it's a tender issue. Let's face it, it's delicate.
Mm-hmm.
But they can. I think you have to come. I mean, the Republicans aren't treating.
Though you've got to just own it.
Yes. Well, you're for killing babies under some circumstances.
That's correct. Yeah,
you got to own it. And then once you do that, once you say and do that, Ted, you and I both know what happens to the discussion. You go, the person trying to nail you as a baby goes,
or at the hip,
you're a baby killer, and you go, yes, I am. You go,
yeah. Get it out of the way, put it behind you. Look, it's kind of like, I mean, I'm virulently opposed to what he did, but Biden yesterday at a Hanukkah gathering at the White House announced that he's a Zionist. Hey, he owns it. He's in bed with Netanyahu and the Israelis. He owns it. I mean, that's
but
he owns
let's be clear.
He wants to own it, but he does own it.
Later, he said some pretty seriously disparaging things about Netanyahu and his government. So
that's true. But he did say he was a Zionist, which basically means I don't want a single Palestinian or pro-Palestinian vote next year. but my point is that, like, you're definitely, I think he's going to, I do think that Democrats are already perceived as being anti-life, pro-choice. So why not just solidify the pro-choice, base of your party, who are not very thrilled in other respects. So you can get women this way.
So let's go through the list, shall we? We now have anti-war Republicans.
Yes.
We now have libertarian Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand this world anymore, Ted.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't get it at all. Yeah, no, it's very, very strange. This is a world where party lines don't make much sense anymore. The Democrats have become completely the war party. I mean,
I know.
Yeah. And Republicans are big allies of Jews. Who saw that coming? But
well, especially when you if you live down here in Alabama like I do, that doesn't come as a surprise. The Pentecostals and the very conservative Christians who want to bring on the end times or insist that a Jewish state is essential, and they love Israel. Israel.
I know current events are bearing out their prediction.
I don't understand Christians who want the end times to happen because they look like they suck.
End times myself. Because of the whole end part.
Right. Because, they're convinced that they're going to be picked. And I'm looking at them going, yeah, maybe not so much.
Because you and I have a different mentality. We're pessimists. It's like, first day of freshman orientation in college, the dean of students gave a speech and he said, look to your left, look to your right, look in front, look behind you. 3 out of 4 of the people you just saw will not be here on graduation day. Because only 1 out of 4 will make it. I was thinking like we're like tadpoles getting gobbled up by big carp. And I was like, but I remember thinking to myself, well, I got an 800 on my math SAT. Odds are I'll be one of those 3. And I was.
Yeah, but that's only because you didn't want to go to class anymore. It was a choice.
That's not quite.
Okay, shut up, Ted. I'm trying to help you.
Yeah.
All righty. On the pessimistic note, where can people, assuming it's still there, go and see all things Ted Rall?
They would go to whowhatwhy.org on Saturdays to look at my cartoon. They would go to Sputnik News and go on Rumble and look at the Final Countdown radio show co-hosted with Angie Wong Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon, or they would go to just rawl.com probably easiest, RALL.com. And Scott, where would they go, assuming there was an internet left to see your stuff?
Well, assuming we're still allowed to show my stuff, it will be, you can go to gocomics.com/prickly city and see my political comic strip. You can go to gocomics.com/Scott Stantis and see my editorial cartoons. You can also go to the chicagotribune.com/opinion and see a gallery of my work. You can also catch Ted and I on Center Clip, which is this wonderful newfangled thingy. It's effectively short form podcasts. They're 30 seconds, no longer than 5 minutes, and they're hot takes on current issues. And I really have just been enjoying the hell out of it.
Me too.
You can pop on if something happens, you can jump on and say something about it. I don't know. It's just, I've enjoyed it. You should check it out. It's a website. Go to centerclip.com and check it out. And
it's an app or it's an app you can download.
Or it's an app. There's finding more traffic going to the website, but there it is. Right there.
Good. All right, Scott.
Steamy pile.
As always, a pleasure.
As always, I'll let you know you're in.
Until next time. Peace.
Adios, muchachos.